Hello and welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. This is another installment on my series on Same Caliber Firearms. This is a 410 bore shot shell part 2 or mod 2. This is a little bit higher tier than the previous one. The previous one was mod 1, which was the kind of budget tier shotgun and budget tier handgun that shoots 410. This time around, I'm going to go one step up. This is not a premium tier, although as far as the pistol goes, you really can't get much better than this particular pistol when it comes to 410 shotgun shells. And the shotgun is somewhere in the middle of the price tier for this. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So as I stated in the intro, this is kind of a mod 2 or a second installment on Same Caliber Firearms in the 410 shotgun bore. And probably no surprise to anybody that's watched my channel for any length of time, two of my all-time favorite types of guns and brands of guns are laid out here on the table. The Smith & Wesson Governor, which is a 6-shot 410 revolver, takes 2.5 shells, can also shoot 45 long Colt and 45 ACP with moon clips. One of my all-time favorite guns. I've done several videos on this since I purchased it. It's just one of those very iconic, massive, almost comical wheel guns that you can buy. I waited a very long time to get this gun, and I couldn't be happier to have it in my collection. It was not cheap. This was around $800 when I bought it. And again, I sold some stuff to get it, and I had just been waiting a really long time. They hadn't been in stock for quite a while, and it popped up, and I jumped at the opportunity to get it. So that is the 410 handgun that I'm talking about today. And again, as I stated, this takes 410 2.5-inch shells. So I have some AA Winchester birdshot here, and I have some 1/5 ounce slugs here. These are both 2.5-inch shells, and they fit in there perfectly fine. If you go with anything longer, you'll notice that the rounds come almost to the end of the cylinder. So once this fires and the end of that crimp opens up, the shell basically comes within about a 1/16 of an inch of the end of the cylinder. So a 3-inch shell will definitely not fit in this. And just to prove that, this is a 3-inch shell here. When you stick it in the cylinder, it actually comes out the end of the cylinder. Now, because I'm going to be reloading 410 shells here pretty soon, what I can do in the future is actually trim this shell down so that it sits, when it's fully open, to just below the end of this cylinder, and then I can actually turn these 3-inch highbrow shells into a 2.5-inch shell, and then I can reuse them over and over again, which is probably what I will do, because I have the ability to shoot 2.5 and 3-inch out of my shotguns, but both of my 410 handguns only take 2.5-inch shells. So when I reload, most of them will probably be reloaded as a 2.5-inch shell. So that's the handgun, Smith & Wesson Governor. Fantastic firearm. It has a scandium frame, stainless steel cylinder and barrel, and steel trigger and hammer and cylinder release and things like that. Just a fantastic handgun. If you ever get a chance to shoot one, I highly recommend it. It'll scare the crap out of you the first time you shoot it, especially if you shoot like 1,600 or 1,800 feet per second slugs out of it like I did. But it's an experience in and of itself. For the shotgun, what I have is a trusty MOSSBERG 500E in 410. I've had this in several videos as well. I did a goofy MOSSBERG shotgun video a couple of years ago, MOSSBERG Madness. It was in that one. I've done a couple of quick videos about it kind of recently. My Why Did I Want This Gun series on, the MOSSBERG shotguns. So, I mean, it's no surprise to anybody. This is a very nice example of a 410 shotgun. Has awesome checkering on the stock and on the foregrip. I was actually originally thinking about changing the foregrip on this and putting a corncob grip on it, but the more I look at this gun, it just has such a classic look to it. This is probably a late 70s or early 80s model. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I could look up the serial number if I really wanted to, but I'm just guessing based on the age. it is an older model, and currently it has a shortened barrel. It was originally 24 inches with a full choke, and it has a 18.5-inch barrel on it now. Actually, it's closer to about 19 inches. That's one that I had shortened a while back to make it more of a home defense gun. And I have this nice plastic, I forget what brand it is, but it's just the cheap ones you buy at Walmart. This is actually a rifle shell holder. I think it's an Allen brand, and it fits 410 shot shells perfectly fine. So you can hold 9 shells on there. Currently I have 4 slugs and 5 triple-aught buck shells. Those are the 3-inch shells, or the triple-aught buck. And it's just a very classy shotgun. So it looks beautiful. The wood on it is just in beautiful condition. There's a few nicks here and there on the back of the receiver. I mean, it has been used. I bought it used. And it's a functional gun. I really like the MOSSBERG 500s. I've talked about that before. The main reason I like them is they're very reliable. You can shoot anything through them that'll fit in the chamber, whether it's 2.5 or 3-inch. You can put slugs, buckshot, birdshot through them. They have a really good extractor system on the bolt. They have 2 extractors on the bolt, so that really lends itself to taking the spent shells out of the chamber very well. I've told the story before. I think I've gone trap shooting with people that had 870 shotguns, and I would walk circles around them with my MOSSBERG, because after you shoot 100 rounds in trap shooting, the chamber's really hot, the barrel's really hot, and 870 has a single extractor on the bolt. A lot of times you'll get rounds jamming in the chamber as they swell up and the chamber's really hot. And I would just keep racking round after round after round out of my MOSSBERG 500 doing trap shooting. And it just, for me, that really solidified it for me. The only time I've ever had an issue with my MOSSBERG 500, my 12 gauge doing trap shooting, we were using Kent brand, K-E-N-T brand steel shot, which is one of the clubs that I shoot at. They only allow you to use steel shot when you're doing trap shooting. So you have to buy the club loads. And those Kent brand loads, after 1 or 2 rounds of trap shooting, they were starting to bind up in the chamber. That's the only time I've ever had an issue with it. And just, sliding the action forward and back 2 or 3 times allowed them to pull out of the chamber, and I was fine. But I had to stand out 1 or 2 rounds to let the chamber cool down and get them to come out. That's the only issue I've ever had with my MOSSBERG 500s. Otherwise, they've run pretty flawlessly. I did that video a week or so ago with the Maverick 88 20 gauge pistol grip shotgun, where I had a couple issues loading some of the slugs into the barrel or some of the buckshot. But I think I was short stroking that one. That gun is also very new and I haven't shot it a lot. But this is why, again, I take my guns to the range, because I need to know if they're going to function 100%. But anyway, that's way off base. Going back to the same caliber discussion, again, the 410 is a versatile caliber. When you're using the pistol and the shotgun, you have your close range viability, 3 to 5 or 7 yards using the pistol. With birdshot, it would take care of any small animals that were close to you. It would dispatch snakes and things like that. The shotguns you can shoot out to, the slugs, you can shoot out to 25 or 30, maybe 40 yards fairly accurately. They're a decent round. But the thing with that is the bore, being that it's a 45 caliber handgun, realistically, the 410 bore shells and the slugs and everything are a little bit smaller than the bore, so they don't always come out the most accurately out of that gun. However, it is a viable SHTF or TEOTWAWKI type gun. And if nothing else, it's just a fun gun to shoot. Again, this is the higher tier 410 same caliber firearm discussion. Again, this gun around $800. The MOSSBERG 500E, you can sometimes find them for, I don't know, $350 to $400 maybe right now. The 410 bore shotguns tend to be a little bit more expensive than the 12s and the 20s. When I bought this one, I think I spent $300 on it, maybe. Maybe $250. I can't remember. It's been a few years since I did the math on this particular one. This one I think I bought from a shop in New Hampshire. I had another one that I bought from Cabela's, and that one I think I paid $250 for, but I traded that one to a buddy of mine a couple of years ago. So this is the one that I still have. It's just been a fantastic shotgun. It's a lot of fun. It's like shooting a 22 shotgun, and yeah, it's just been a great gun for me. So there you have another installment on the Same Caliber Firearms, talking about 410 bore shot shells and the Smith & Wesson Governor and the MOSSBERG 500E 410 pump action shotgun. Thanks for watching this edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. Make sure you get out there, shoot, support your 2A rights. God bless America. And you remember, if somebody tells you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, you remind them that freedom is the greater good. So we can continue shooting fun guns like this. Have a great night.